of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendship among the united cultures.
Thank you very much. Before I ask for a roll call, I want to welcome Ms. Kylie Calvert. She's our new administrative assistant, and she'll be taking the minutes. And appreciate you. Glad you're on board.
Bear with me.
Okay.
It's got to be better than last month.
First of all, roll call, please. Ms. Calvert.
Mr. Clemens?
Here.
Ms. Stevenson?
Here.
Mr. Sidwell?
Here.
Mr. Sandoval?
Here.
And Mr. Box?
Here.
All right. Next on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? Any additions or deletions?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the agenda as presented. No, second.
Can we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda? Roll call, please.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell?
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval?
Yes.
Mr. Box?
Yes.
Mr. Primrose?
Yes. Thank you. Were there any requests for public comments?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Next is approval of the minutes for the regular meeting for August 19th. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes? Any additions or deletions for the whoever did them? It was really good.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve these very excellent minutes.
Second.
We've got a request for approval and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Primrose?
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell?
Yes.
And Mr. Box?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
And Mr. Sandoval?
Yes.
All right. Next is come on in. Find some chairs.
I'm going to introduce we're going to introduce some of the new employees when we get to my report.
Oh, okay. Well, next would be the chairman's report. I really don't have much. I just want to thank the staff and the faculty and Dr. Edwards for all of the hard work y'all have been doing. I know it's so critical to have this HLC site visit next month or next week, 2 days, and I know how y'all have done lots and lots of work, and I want to thank you for doing that. It's so critical for the college, and faculty and staff seem to know that, and they've been working real hard to make sure that it's a success. And thank y'all very much for doing that. Next, we'll go into reports. Dr. Moss.
So I want to start mine introducing some of our new staff. I'll introduce a couple, and then Joel and Mark will introduce some. You all have already met Kylie, our new admin assistant. I'd also like to introduce Miss Shauna Bird. She is working as an assistant in our HR office with Tammy Hall. And I will turn it over to Joel to introduce a couple people.
Thank you. I was going to introduce Mr. Chris Dugan. He's our new business faculty, and just give him the floor to say a little bit about what he's going to bring to Mesalands.
Mr. President, members of the board, community members, and staff, I have about 25 years of experience in higher learning, both as an adjunct and a full-time professor. And along within that, the times I was an adjunct, I also started and owned multiple businesses. I'm ex-military and an officer, and I really appreciate the opportunity that I've been given here. Joel and I are working on a strategic plan to start a advisory committee soon, so I may be going to each and every one of you and asking if you can maybe recommend somebody or know somebody or yourself who would like to be involved, because we want to, going forward, we want to have what we're teaching reflect what the community needs, and also to look to kind of balance out how our conversations having with Joel, balance out how our student flow is into the business program, so maybe not have it so weighted in certain areas, kind of balance it out. So I'm going to go around to the different high schools and as many recruiting events as possible, and then spread the word in the community. There's a few other, well, there's a lot of members of the team here that have been wonderful to work with and are going to assist me, and we're going to work together to get as much of the word out there about our programs across the board, and in particular the business program. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
And a familiar face, Miss Kim Enriquez, who is our new Associate Dean of Academic Services.
Hi. So I'm just going to expand on what I've been doing already, which is community ed and workforce development, and just add a few more things to that. So we're expanding, and I have lots of plans to expand those programs.
Thank you. And Mark.
I already want to recognize Ruben Rincones. He's actually joining us. He used to work for Mesalands, so I'm glad to have him back. Support staff for us with our facilities maintenance and custodial staff. Ruben, want to say something? Put you on the spot.
I'm not a talker, but yeah, like you said, I'm Ruben Conus and had lots of experience with construction and just here to help keep the place functioning and clean.
And I know one thing that we're all pretty happy about is to have a full staff at the business office. So we have 2 new hires for the business staff. We have Miss Natalie Gallegos and Miss Caitlin Preciado. Y'all want to say anything?
We just thank y'all for the opportunity, and we're really happy to be a part of the organization. Looking forward to bigger and better things and moving on up.
Thank you.
So thank you all. You do not have to stay. You're welcome to, but you're also welcome to go. It is exciting because, you know, for this last 2.5 years, we've been kind of operating shorthanded and scrambling to get things back in order. And it's nice now to see, you know, okay, we've got some funds to actually fill in some gaps, and you know, just like our business officer, still got some training, but it's awesome to have 5 people in there and actually be able to fill every role and train so that we're completely independent. So that's exciting. And it's also always exciting to see someone come back after leaving. So I always like that. You all have my report. The only thing I would add is the audit committee will have an exit meeting with the state auditor Wednesday. So next week will be very busy. We have the HLC, which is our priority, Monday and Tuesday. We have the Science, Technology, and Telecommunications Committee meeting here Monday and Tuesday. And then we have our exit meeting on Wednesday. So we're going to be extreme. We're not going to be able to do anything other than those things for two days. I feel like I didn't put much in my report. Maybe it's just because I didn't take the time to really sit down and try to think of everything. We are still working on Ms. Sharmer, getting her approved by the retirement board to be able to work with us. Still haven't heard anything on this third and last application after we did the RFP. I did reach out to a couple more people. Mark visited with one of our attorneys. I visited with the Secretary of Higher Ed. but we're still waiting. And so, you know, this last few months, HED and LFC, it seems like we've just had one after another request for information and reporting. We're caught up on everything. The only thing we're a little behind on right now is the report of actuals. It was due Monday, but I visited with HED. We've got a tentative plan if Judy's not able to be back with us by then. Rochelle's getting our stuff in order so that we'll meet with them maybe the last week of September and try to put that together ourselves. So we had a couple great meetings with the staff, one last Tuesday, one this Tuesday, regarding HLC. I would say, you know, I made this comment at lunch. If we're all wanting this college to move forward and succeed, we're going to be fine. We feel like everything's in place. Our hope is to come out of this out of probation. We're still going to have some things that they're going to want to follow up on, some monitoring. There's just almost no question of that, but that's our hope. Y'all have any questions?
Any questions for Dr. Moss on this report? Glad to get another audit Wednesday down to 2. So.
Yeah.
Next is the financial report.
So Ms. Arias was not able to be here today. You know, I feel like I'm a broken record, but our cash right now, you know, that's basically what we've had to operate over the last couple of years. We're still running well. We're ahead of where we were last year, and that was ahead of the year before. When we get through HLC and some of this stuff, I really want we need to consider moving some funds into some more CDs or some other type of investment to earn more money on that. But we're paying our bills. We're hovering around that $3 million mark. Some of that money is going to have to be spent on workforce this year, but we're also still waiting on the $300,000 for CDL and wind equipment. We're still waiting on the $450,000 to cover our nursing expenses last year and this year. So, financially, I feel like we're in a really good shape. It's just, also I would add, our plan is when we get through the 25 audit, and of course it's due November 1st, we're almost completely unlikely we're going to hit that date, but if we can get it finished, let's say by December, maybe January, then those remaining months before we have to start on the 26 audit, February, March, April, May, that's when Rochelle is going to be putting those final numbers in, get that budget into Genzabar, and then we're going to start generating those reports like, okay, where are we at halfway through the year and how does that compare to our budget? I know you all have wanted to see that. I've wanted to see it for the last 2.5 years. We're just so close to getting there. So it's right now, we got to get things caught up. But anyway, any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
The finance committee did meet this week, and we went over our financial or cash reporting, and she did make a few changes where we've got some outstanding checks and outstanding invoices, and it's part of it. It's already taken off the cash. We still have a good cash balance, so I think we're in good shape, and we can continue to do the finance report or committee meetings. Is any other questions for Dr. Moss?
Looking at the CD activity, everyone's Federal Credit Union.
Yes. I called them and they said it's at 5%, but Rochelle said this is the amount that keeps showing up. I'm just gonna have to go down and visit with court to see what's going on. Cause when we switched that, he said we'll match that rate, that, state treasury rate or whatever. I just gotta find time to go down and visit with him, cause I don't know what's going on.
And the maturity date, I guess it's been renewed then, so.
But I think like when we changed that out, even though we were past the maturity date, he made those adjustments, but I gotta follow up with him and see why I'm told one thing and the other thing showing up on our reports.
Is there any other questions for Dr. Moss on the financials?
When can we start moving forward?
When we get through HLC next week, then I think our focus can turn on, okay, we've, Lord willing, completed everything. We're getting ready to start our 25 audit to be on time. And so I feel like our thoughts need to start looking at where do we go from here next month? Now, it doesn't mean we'll get everything done, but that'll be a question that the HLC team may ask is, okay, what about your strategic direction? And so what we're operating basically right now is under that strategic document. We're trying to get things caught up and safe. So beginning probably November, December, into the spring is when we need to start planning. Do we need a new mission? What do we want to see happen for the college? What programs do we want to add? Who do we want to work with and stuff like that. So I would say our focus needs to change after that HLC visit next week.
Okay.
Any other questions for Dr. Moss? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the financial report.
I make a motion that we approve the financial report.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, roll call please.
Mr. Primrose,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
and Mr. Box.
Yes.
Next is Dr. Edwards. When I go into the faculty and staff and I enjoyed your presentation, and I think it'd be beneficial for the trustees to hear that also.
We'll do it. Justin's gonna set it up for me, and then I'm gonna steal the mouse from him. That's the one. Presentation view, it is what it is. Yeah, let's do that. No worries. There it is. Right click. Maybe I'll be able to see the icon from here. Okay. So the, well, that. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. May it please the board, we've got there's been a couple of recent updates to the HLC visit. Timeline, you should have been copied on those, there's a brand new schedule. Rather than having, I know that the board packet indicates that there's gonna be a dinner at La Cita that's actually gonna take place in this room. They felt that this would be a more appropriate venue, so that's gonna take place here Monday evening at 5:30. So we have, of course, our site visit coming up on Monday and Tuesday of the coming week. We're gonna be welcoming in the 5 reviewers who come. They all come from community colleges, from 2-year institutions. 2 of them come from rural serving institutions, so they're more or less familiar with the operating size and some of the limitations that rural serving institutions like our own have to work within. The main focus here, right, is getting reaccredited, getting off of probation. One of the things that we include with staff is without accreditation, not very much happens. We don't, the students' credits don't transfer, the students don't qualify for financial aid, state aid, federal aid. It's very, very difficult for them to really get anything done. And so even though we feel confident about the coming visit, there's also still a sense of urgency to do well and present ourselves and our institution and our community as well as we possibly can. We had a mock site visit last week where we had mock reviewers come in on Monday and Tuesday. We followed the same time frame and schedule that HLC roughly that we'll follow when they're here. And we learned a number of things from that visit, and we're making some adjustments based on that. One of the things that we want to focus on are the do's as opposed to do-nots. We want to make sure that staff and faculty are available, helpful, enthusiastic. We're getting some good attendance at the meetings. Faculty and staff are engaged. They're asking good questions. They're asking the right questions. And whenever something comes up that might be imperfect or we're not sure what the best answer is, the line is, here's what we do. And then we present some of the, whether it's an operating procedure or whether it's helping out a student or whatever the case may be, we present some of the things that we do that we're very good at. We avoid making stuff up. We'll say making stuff up. Try to avoid any crudities in a public forum. We avoid saying we don't do that because even if something doesn't touch someone's particular job area, it might touch someone else's. So if they ask a faculty member about program review, for example, and someone wasn't or hasn't recently been involved in a program review, avoid the temptation to say we don't do that. Yes, we do program review, even if you haven't been involved in that recently. That's where we double back to the here's what we do. Here's what we do deal. We're trying to avoid airing grievances. We know that there's a significant temptation when you get folks together in a room to discuss common grievances. We're trying to avoid going down that path because it's not constructive. There's nothing visitors can do about most of the day-to-day things that we're having issues with, and then it shifts the focus away from the positive that we're trying to construct. We're not interested in hiding anything. That wouldn't really make sense. The site team has read through the assurance argument, which is something like 32,000 words, and they've seen all of the good, all of the bad, all of the ugly that Mesalands has to offer over the past couple of years. Attempting to mislead or beguile the site visit team would be very unwise. We've also, the last one, the harping on the past bullet point, is a new one. This is one that came out of the site visit. Out of the mock site visit that we just had this past week. One of the things that we're really avoiding using as an excuse is the COVID thing. the institutions that these folks are coming from also had to go through the COVID, also had to experience the enrollment uncertainty and the weird funding things and all the strange stuff that came with COVID. They're not interested in hearing about that anymore. So unless they specifically ask a question about why X, Y, or Z is such a way, and that ties directly back to the pandemic, then we avoid discussing the pandemic. This image drew quite the reaction, I have to say, from faculty and staff. We're also not harping on the previous college president's administration. It's been 2.5 years now. The college belongs to us. We hold ultimate responsibility. We've been engaging in the processes and the budgeting and the teaching and the evaluating and all the rest of that stuff. The assurance argument makes it quite plain to the review team all of what happened during the past emergency, and it's not really incumbent upon us to bring any of that discussion forward any longer. We're leaving that behind. It's in the past, he's in the past, and we get to continue to grow and push forward from that. The same story goes with this probably applies to faculty and staff more than it does the board, but we're also shying away from discussing any past board decisions that might have been made. We moved on from that, right? The board has been consistent now for the last 2+ years, and there's been new trainings taking place, and there's a lot. The board's in a different place, administration's in a different place, the business office, faculty, staff, human resources, everyone is in a different and better place now than we were 2.5 years ago, and so we want to focus on the great things that we're doing now as opposed to what got us in the sticky spot with this stuff to begin with. I gave all employees homework. Everyone was to and is to review the mission statement. Everyone is assigned at least portions of the assurance argument, and the board's assignment for that is at least criterion 2, and I think I mentioned some other excerpts when I sent an email out. I think that was last month. It's all starting to kind of meld together now. A lot of departments have met together to strategize how they want to discuss different aspects of whatever the deal is, whether it's business office or academic affairs. There are different aspects that each department needs to tackle and each department needs to present to HLC. They should have done that. Employees are encouraged to come to as many sessions as they can, even if they don't contribute. We want a good show of force. The site review team has been in contact with HED, and HED has had wonderful things to say about the employees at Mesalands, which surprises no one in this room. But we want to make sure that that degree of awesomeness makes its way into the meetings with the HLC representatives. So if someone comes to a meeting and they have the opportunity to contribute something, they're welcome to. There are a handful of sessions that are closed. Those are indicated on the annotated schedule that went out to all employees. But the remainder of employees are welcome to come to any and all sessions. There's a session specifically for students, and there's also going to be a campus tour that's led by student government. The recently reorganized student government, and they are going to take the lead in showing the site review team through the nurse simulation lab, through the wind shop with the nacelle, through the arts lab, and I believe there's also a farrier lab going on during that hour. So they'll get to see. They only have 30 minutes for the campus tour, but they get to see some of the coolest things that we do here. And then we're really focusing on student success. Focus on student success, but through the mission statement. Everyone, virtually everyone, and unless you're brand new like Mr. Dugan was, has a student success story that they can bring forward in these meetings with HLC. We have a lot of employees who are alumni of Mesalands, and we have a lot of employees whose family members are alumni of Mesalands. And everybody who's worked at the college any length of time knows someone who's been able to come to college just because this institution is here, who, even though distance education options are available, that doesn't work for everybody. Whether it's because of workforce or because just how they learn, that might not work for everybody. And so there are a lot of students who only are going to school because Mesalands exists right here. Those are the stories that we want to bring out. Those are the stories that we want to encourage employees, board members to share with HLC. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other stuff to talk about. They're going to have questions about finances and about assessment and about integrity and about the sufficiency of faculty and staff and a million other things. But one of the common threads we want is to bring forward continually is student success. And if we can bring that forward through specific success stories, through specific metrics, then we want to have that conversation with our HLC folks. We reiterated the mission statement, make sure we review that. Although we're going to stop one level short of having a tattoo on everyone's forehead, that's going to be, it's still the ones, we want the mission to be front and center because all of these things we do, and the college frankly does very well. It's very good at educating, it's very good at providing services to the community, leadership opportunities, all of that to a diverse and a rural community, and each of us should be, and I know we are, proud of that, and we want to make sure that HLC knows and understands that we are proud of that and proud of what we do and proud of the student success and the college's success and the community's success. That, I believe, was all I had. Are there any questions that
Questions for Dr. Edwards?
I would tag on, if any of you know, I sent out invitations for the 7:30 to 8:30 community portion on Tuesday. I sent them to area school districts. I sent it to the city and the county and the hospital chamber. Sent it out to specific people, with some of like the banks and things like that. But if there's someone you know that would be a great person to represent the community for the college, be sure and invite them to come to that. It'll be down the hall.
So we haven't nailed down the room yet. I need to ask you when the legislative meetings can be, and we'll see if we can play with that a little bit. But we're still nailing down the venue for it. But it's going to be probably either an A building or G building.
And that was 7:30 to
7:30 to 8:30.
8:15. I'm sorry, President.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
on
Tuesday. Yeah. And I would say that's something you all as the board probably don't need to go to. I've invited the two new members that have signed up that'll start in January to come to that. So I've sent out those invitations to a lot of people, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there I didn't hit, so.
Anyone who can be an ambassador from the community, even alumni who can be an ambassador for the college, that would be a great meeting where they can show forth their support.
And for sure, the trustees are all gonna meet with the team on 5:30 to 7.
In this room.
Right.
Yeah. In this room. We'll have food brought in, don't worry about supper time.
and that's on Tuesday?
That's on Monday night,
Okay,
right? That's on Monday night.
Sorry.
Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate all of your hard work.
Absolutely.
Next is academic affairs, Mr. Kaiser.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, you have my academic affairs division report, and I just want to take a moment to highlight the work Dr. Edwards has done over the past year, about a year now, and convening these committees and working with our staff and faculty is no easy task to get everybody on the same page. And it's been an extraordinary effort that leads to this point. And this is our defining moment for the next 10 years. No pressure, right?
No.
No pressure. I think everybody after the meeting today, there's still a little bit of, butterflies that everybody has, but I think when the time comes, everybody's gonna be ready. And just like, Dr. Moss said, we're all driven by the need for this college to succeed, and I think that's where everybody's head's at right now, so I appreciate all the effort there. I'm gonna keep, for the action board report itself, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. All the effort, all our division, all the, subcomponents have been focused on prep, getting everything ready, while at the same time, we're right in the middle of the semester. So we're still delivering our content, on both main campus, online, and corrections division. So I reminded them today of the reality, after all the excitement wears off, we have a tremendous amount of work to continue. And that's the hard part, I think. I really do. I think the day after, what are we doing? And, Mr. Sandoval, you asked where are we going a second ago, and I just wanted to add to that. I think where we're gonna be when we're in the clear, because we have to go through this process and get in the clear. You're gonna see growth in our workforce, areas of CDL, diesel automotive, building trades, wind technology certificates are changing. Those kind of things are gonna happen very quickly because there's a demand for them on the workforce side. As far as our credit bearing, we're looking at expansion to an auxiliary site in Clayton. And as soon as we're clear, I think that's gonna be our first footprint for the region as we reach out. And that could be for dual credit, it could be for CNA, phlebotomy, nursing. And those programs are gonna bloom out there because there's a need in that community for those healthcare needs. So in the short, I think that's where we're going, but again, we have to get past this event. So probably the most change that we will see in our academic career will happen in the next year here for the good. And I do believe that. We'll see most growth and change. As far as individual topics, and of course I didn't bring my notes and I'm half blind, so I'm gonna take a step up here. Yeah, all cylinders are firing. That's where all our efforts have been. Our Education Services Center is ramped up support for our students in real time, so we're seeing more tutoring sessions, more support from the library, the research side. And again, being able to articulate that when the reviewers are on campus is so important, because that's one of those items they want to know is the same quality of support being given for our online students and our correction students as we see from main campus. So that's where our efforts are right now, is at least saying this is what we're doing. It may not fit their parameters, but it's serving student success in one way or another. And that's what I have for you. If you have any questions, I'll stand for questions.
Any questions for Mr. Kaiser?
Yeah, I do. Here in your challenges and needs, Mr. Kaiser, you mentioned that you're having some challenges still within Gingibar. Are you getting the support and getting it on a timely basis from Gingibar when you address those with them?
We're getting, a great question there, we're getting some internal training, and those training sessions haven't been reoccurring because they're, the focus on HLC, but we've been given training there, and we're waiting for a Gingibar module add-on, which is specific to student retention efforts, and I think that's gonna be the game changer for us. And what that does is it sends communication for students that are enrolled and at risk. And it'll ping, say it pings, it sends an internal message with the description of the problem And at that point, we're able to track that student in the system. And it's so much more than just physically taking an advisor down and sitting down with them. It alerts multiple people on this campus. You can see what their current standings would be, GPA, those kind of things. And having that data in one location so we can act on it for the first time. So once that's uploaded and integrated, I think that's going to help us. Other internal support that we're getting, of course, the IT teams are going to be growing and getting more assistance on that side. And I think that's where we'll see a change as well with the amount of support, because I think a lot of people underestimate how much inflow they get. For instance, with the corrections, recent corrections start of the semester, the majority of those students had to have their passwords reset because they moved around to different locations after they consolidated a facility. So every single student's password, you gotta go into the system, you gotta troubleshoot it. And it's not as easy as just hitting reset. There's communication that has to go out. So just having that extra person there to facilitate that's gonna make a major difference. And at the end of the day, is Zanzibar gonna do what we want it to do? I wish I could say that. I don't know. But I do know we're getting some training on it right now. And between my office and Josh's area, we've been able to process more data than I ever want to see again in my life. Now, is the data good? So that's the next part of this process, going in and ensuring that data is clean, taking out duplicates, and that's all happening in real time.
Thank you.
You might have to go talk to the city and the county, make sure they know what to do. See, there's weeds growing everywhere, the roads are bad, no jobs, nothing.
And to kind of help that situation, I think once we're able to expand our workforce training that happens here, I think that'll give people the tools to go to work in this county. Whether it's, for the CDL and the auto or the diesel automotive, if we can draw in and train some individuals, maybe they set up shop here and keep their family here and invest in the community.
Yeah.
And the more people we have that are living here, investing into Hoop Harry, the better off that infrastructure is going to be. And I think that's what's causing some of these gaps, because over the years, all the young guys, they leave, right? And not to say that the older types got to run the show, but you understand what I mean here. But it causes a gap in support in this community. So we're starting to see that really take root with our health sciences right now. Those cohorts that are graduating are getting jobs in this area. And if they're not, they're still living in this area and investing in this community. And that's so important in the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's all. I gotta say, they gotta wake them up, cause they don't move forward or nothing. And I don't see them, cause I sit in my front porch and I see the cars go by. I haven't seen a city commissioner, or county commissioner, nobody say nothing about education or nothing.
Well, hopefully they'll start to see it, and we'll start to have better dialogues with the city as well. I think that's also gonna be one of our, when we start talking about our strategic mission, setting aside the time to have those conversations and to ask, what do you need as a city, as an institution that we can provide, whether it's even training a new HVAC or training some new electricians. That's something that's needed, new plumbers, more plumbers.
That brought something to mind with the new bill or whatever that with the paid childcare. Has there been any discussion about bringing that kind of training back to the school?
It's a great question. That was actually brought up in our fall employee meeting today, and I think it's so new. We haven't had a time to actually convene and have that conversation, but in the past, Ms. Griffiths had a pretty good structured plan on how to support growth in early childhood development in the classes that would meet that, whether it's a CERT or part of our pathway. So I think that'll be a focus too in the near future, especially if the funding's there. I'm sure we'll see.
I also got a form or information from higher ed department last week, looking for what we might have needs of for childcare and early childhood in this area, and it even goes so far as to talk about capital. I haven't even brought it up to Joel or Josh or Mark yet because, you know, our focus has been on HLC, but we're gonna have to have that conversation the following week because we'll have to submit some of that information to higher ed, and so we're gonna, my plan is we're gonna have a conversation, but also reach out to the Head Start and school district and see what we might be able to fund, because Tucumcari definitely has a dearth or a lack of. I don't think Head Start even they're in the school district right now. I don't think they have a building.
I don't think so either.
So there's definitely a need here, and it might even go back, you know, a couple of years ago, the school was looking at building an early childhood center. So, yeah.
I'm just really interested. That's when it was still TABS, I was here for a couple of years as the director and instructor, and it would be really nice to see it, you know, develop something like that again, because there is a big need for childcare.
Any other questions for Mr. Kaiser? No. Thank you very much.
I think he's got his work cut out.
Next is student services, Mr. McVeigh.
Well, good evening. I was looking at the board packet, and I realized I sent the wrong document. I think I sent last month's. It says August at the top of it, is that correct? It does, doesn't it? On the report that I sent?
I don't think we got one.
Something happened, I don't know, because I was reviewing and I thought, oh, that's not the right report. Does everybody have one? So looking at, we've got fall registration, which has been successful. Courses filled up, approximately 280 students enrolled for the registration there on campus. Main campus fall registration is very successful. We worked diligently, of course, returning for new and returning students. St. Pete Day was a big success. I want to say as well, recognize orientation was a very good event. Diane Grapp and worked very hard to put that together. She did a fantastic job getting members of the community together, having the energy for the students to come and attend. We had a really great event. On top of that, we had something called the Great Game, which was a new idea of a virtual game on students' phones. They could scan a QR code and they can learn things about the campus and different areas around Tucumcari as well. So just really very successful event. Thought it was very good. Financial aid, of course, continue to process the FAFSAs. We've got athletics which are going on. In that word report that I sent, there should be the schedules for both golf and rodeo. So if you said you hadn't gotten those, I'm not sure if those came through. But we do have schedules for golf and rodeo. We've got next month, of course, rodeo. So October 10th and 11th is going to be our home rodeo for Stampede Week. We've got a lot of events planned for Stampede Week. Also, again, the event that we had for the Elks Lodge was a very successful event, and we had a lot of attendance from students. We really worked on, Van and I worked on building momentum in the beginning of this semester. We had students who are asking about the cookout that we'll be having on the 24th. of September, and so that's gonna be in this front parking lot out here. We'll be cooking burgers and things like that outside, probably like water fights similar to we did last year. Students really enjoyed that, so we're gonna be doing that again. Marketing, you can see the report there. Yvonne has given us some numbers as far as his outreach goes. Social media has been performing well. And many of you may have seen a lot of the posts that he's been doing. He's trying to build energy as well for the rodeo that's coming up. We are taking sponsorships from different businesses around town. Also, different businesses have given discounts for students. So we've advertised to our students those discounts that businesses are doing around town at different areas. So we just had a great opportunities for marketing. We've also got things coming along in the future. Our website is about finished. Of course, we want to get past HLC before we make the big transition to the new website. Because again, HLC has been reviewing our current website and verifying we have documentation that's available on there. We don't want to lose anything as we move over. So we're double checking, triple checking to make sure that we're ready to move the website over, and we'll wait until after the HLC review next week before we actually make that big change over to the new platform, the new website. So again, a lot of really encouraging things that are happening as far as marketing and events that we have going on with students. We're looking at partnering with an SEO company. It's going to help us gain better ranking on Google over the next year. Yvonne is making some strategic decisions to help us have more reach with fewer dollars, which is important. And so again, we're just trying to look towards the future and make sure that we take advantage of every opportunity to recruit and get our information out there for the students to be successful and provide opportunities for them for career advancement as well as academics. So, but I'll stand for any questions if you have any questions.
Any questions for Mr. McVeigh?
I think your ad in the New Mexico Stockman was
Very good.
very good ad, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully you get some response from it.
Yeah, well, we've done that every year. So there's the New Mexico Stockman and then we have the equestrian one too. So we've been in both of those, and we've had some good responses, people seeing those. So we try to consistently do those each year.
You know, another one that I just thought of, the Clovis Livestock Report.
Okay.
And it goes out to a lot of people. It's published, I don't remember the name of the publisher, but they're in Fort Sumner.
Okay.
And that may be something to look into also.
Good idea.
Because that report goes out to a lot of people, and, you know, besides New Mexico, into Texas also.
Okay. I'll be sure to mention that to Yvonne as well. We'll look into that so we can do.
Any other questions? If not, we'll move on to the RPSP application approval. It didn't come through either, did it?
I emailed that to you
Yeah,
all.
Yeah, I got an email. I did. Let's see.
Let's see if I can find it.
Jessica said so. There it is. It's, the email,
I could, let's see. Yeah, I don't know how I'd print that out without,
so it was, 245,400 for nursing, correct?
Correct.
And, 200,000 for, renewable expansion.
so what,
For
without,
next, this is for next year.
Yeah, so our RPSP is, so the criteria that HED sets down is basically it's for new or expanding programs. They're looking for expenses that are reoccurring, so like equipment, capital facilities, that's not stuff we can submit for RPSP. And so we had to look down, look at, okay, what do we have right now? Now, the odds of us getting money this year is gonna be challenging because, the legislature is really focused right now on what are we not gonna get from the federal government this next year or the year after. And so that's a big kind of criteria here is, is this something to replace federal money? So what we are trying to do is ask for more money for nursing because we are looking at expanding that into Clayton to start a cohort there, and also start some health science programs in our high schools to whether it's prerequisites or whatever, and kind of build a pipeline into our nursing program. The other one is for the wind or renewable energy. We're wanting to expand that to support not only our dual program, but also into the corrections. We're trying to get started in Santa Rosa this fall. Hopefully that will happen in the next couple months. And then once that gets going, then they want us to look at expanding that into other facilities, Clayton, Roswell, and some of those. And so that's what we're looking at doing right now. We only chose 2. You can submit up to 3, but I think that would be effort that we just didn't have time to do to go beyond that. So those funds we're asking are to cover like faculty, staff, curriculum. Those are the expenses, I
Supplies,
think.
professional salaries, faculty
Yeah.
salaries, and supplies.
Yeah.
In the nursing area, and then under WIN, it's essentially the faculty salaries that we're asking for, and then also the supplies and expenses. So, and then also, all those things.
Any other questions on the RPSP funding?
Who's the superintendent of Santa Rosa, the school?
Who is?
Yeah.
I don't remember the name. That's-
Mr. Martin.
Oh,
No, is he the one? Is he the one there?
I don't know. I don't know that I've ever had a conversation with them. I've talked to their counselor, but I don't know that I've had a conversation with their superintendent.
So right now, we're entertaining a motion to approve the RPSP funding, $245,400 for nursing and $200,000 for renewable expansion for 2027.
I move that we approve that. For the nursing.
So a motion
Second.
and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Primrose?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell?
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval?
Yes.
Mr. Box?
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thanks for all you did. Next is Mr. Martinez, Executive Director of Operations.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Before you have my monthly report, I'll start on a recap, an update of the insurance work that's being completed in building E, the wind energy building. I think the last time we met, we had talked about scheduling and trying to get them on site. So I finally happily announced they are on site. They are reconstructing the Bay Area where the Mesalands placed within the building. They went and they had to remediate some mold on the west wall. All the other previous mold had been remediated up to this point, but they went ahead and had that encapsulated so it wouldn't spread any further until they could get a specialized company to come in to remediate all that, as well as the office. The old wind energy instructor's office also had some mold in there. All of that was removed. So now they're focusing on the reconstruction of those areas. They've been placing plywood, sheetrock throughout the facility, the classrooms, the men's restroom, everywhere where we had some previous water damage. So thankfully they're moving along quite well on schedule. I don't have an exact time frame of when they will be completed, but based at the pace that they are proceeding right now, I'd assume that hopefully have most of this wrapped up in another month or month and a half. I know the contractor went to me today to request the paint code for some of the classrooms, so that means at that point all the sheetrock was done, the texturing, and now they're ready to finish that off by painting it. I'm still waiting a follow-up from the insurance company on when they will start the roof over the library in Building A, the main building. I have not received word from that. And then in regards to the insurance and other project that's being completed that we've been waiting on for some time is the repair for the hail damage to the rodeo truck. That's currently in Amarillo right now being fixed and should be ready for pickup by Thursday, just in time for the rodeo coach to take it to the rodeo this weekend. Follow up on the summer hearing capital project. We had talked about that previously on what we had asked for, the repower of the wind turbine, as well as heating and cooling improvements to Building D, the arts, fine arts building. And with that, the C firms, that is the online portal through the higher education department where we go to request our projects. That's a capital funding request monitoring system. And after that summer hearing project, and we gave the presentation this year, Dr. Moss and I, the legislators that, not just legislators, but the people on the Capital Committee through higher ed. You have somebody from the LFC committee, from staff, Mr. Jorgensen. You have people from DFA on the funding, a little bit of everything. Somebody from the capital projects there from HED themselves, Energy Division, New Mexico. There's a few other people that are comprised in that committee itself. They have questions throughout our presentations, and then afterwards. So what they do, they get those and upload them into this portal, and then in return we go back and answer those thoroughly, provide any supporting documentation and whatnot, just to further support our cause to get that funding. I completed that over the past month or so. Also attended the new online training for the new CAPS reporting system. This is the new capital project system, which took over CPMS. That was a capital project monitoring system, which not only higher ed, but local, county, school administration, local government, as far as like municipalities. This is all where we go when we receive capital appropriations through legislative sessions. We have to do monthly reports, and actually they've cut that back to quarterly. So now we have quarterly reports to give a status update, so they can see if, for example, we had a project that was sitting stagnant for so long, we're not spending our funds. That lets them know to get in contact, so we can start moving and proceeding forward with those projects. So that's the main reasoning behind that reporting system, is updating our legislators and everybody involved. It's transparency to show that we're moving forward with the funds that we have received previously. That's all I have on capital projects for now. As far as procurement, business office, and auxiliary services, as stated earlier, we do have a full business staff now with the hiring of the 2 additional employees. And then in regards to the fitness center, we had our semi-annual maintenance of the equipment a couple of weeks ago. Everything's up and running the way it's supposed to be. The fitness center has been running very successfully. And I'll be going to Dr. Moss and requesting the purchase of a new treadmill in the near future. I'll be going through the procurement process to finish obtaining the quotes for that. In regards to maintenance, groundskeeping, custodial services, they've been busy, most recently replacing light bulbs throughout campus. We're doing this kind of in a phased approach. I'm also looking into programs with XL Energy for rebates for doing this. Everything's being converted over to LED. So with that, we're hoping to save money based on converting everything over to LED from the old fluorescent system. IT's been busy with the semester starting up, corrections, with everything going on, password resets, other ongoing issues on site. And then most recently this morning, I know Larry was out at the wind turbine trying to troubleshoot that further, installed some new, I think a new switch, and working with our wind instructors to troubleshoot up to the top of the tower as well, making sure that the cable is talking to the device the way it's supposed to. But I'm still working on that. And then the other thing, of course, is the HLC visit. We've been preparing heavily. All divisions, all the departments is coming together to prep for that visit. And Mesalands will be providing facility use, the host site for a spay and neuter clinic at the old Armory in October. I know for sure that'll be October 24th through 26th, with potential to expand that 2 additional days, the 27th and 28th. So I'd like to thank Paws and Claws and Res Dog Rescue for all they do for the community. And then lastly, had the volunteered for the student event at the Elks Lodge that Josh mentioned earlier, which was very successful. That was one of the probably better student activities I've seen since I've been here, and very well received by the Elks members and the governing board. They really appreciated the respect of the students that attended that event, so they've extended the offer to invite us for future, say, burger nights or whatnot, other meals, to give the students something to do. It was very well received by both sides, so again, I'd like to appreciate and show my thanks to the Elks for all that they've done for us for that as well. And with that, I also have my purchase order report attached. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them at this time.
Any questions for Mr. Martinez? Thank you for your report. Next, we'll continue with the dinosaur meeting.
Yes, sir, thank you. Attached, you'll see the annual report for Ms. Monahan, the director at the College Dinosaur Museum and Gift Shop. On the report, if you go down to the next one, that one right there, Justin, you can see that we've gone up as far as profit from last year. We did have, so we did go down slightly overall in the shop, in the taxes. One thing that I've been looking into that I've noticed in previous years, our tax rate was below the amount that we should be charging. We're just charging the state tax rate instead of the entire GRT. So that's something that's going to be implemented immediately. That's something I just discovered within the last couple of months, I guess, if you would. So that will have to change. One thing I'm proud of also is the number of discounts has decreased nearly, well, she has about 50%, it's decreased. So comps are nice, and it's good to get promos and people into our doors, but it's also nice not having to administer so many discounts, whether that's refunds due to return merchandise or whatnot. So that's good to see that number go down. We did have a net revenue based on the cost of the goods that we sell versus our profit margin on what we're marking up and charging. The one thing that I'm going to do, and Ms. Monahan brought it up for this report as well, I'm going to make sure moving forward we have a true breakdown based on employee salaries, benefits, and whatnot to see exactly where is the Dinosaur Museum standing on its own, based on all salaries and revenues instead of just based on the costs of the goods that we sell. That'll give us a true picture of how much it costs to run that Dinosaur Museum. If you go down a little bit more to the museum activities, throughout the year, Lonnie does a great job of supporting the community and putting on special events to get more people into the doors to buy things at the gift shop, different free days for the museum, giving people a reason to attend and more things to do in Tucumcari when we work together, say with the city of Tucumcari, when they have events going down at the historical museum. We want to make sure that we're partners with those in the community to make sure we're all successful. So with that, she noted some things that happened within the last year. There was 2 summer field classes, that's for the Dino Days, 3 class tours. The new petrified wood exhibit was finished. Working on virtual reality Oculus application. This will allow visitors that go into the dinosaur museum to put this VR headset on and interact and see different dinosaurs and things and whatnot. So we're looking forward to that. Working on the Craig Corral Exhibit Hall bronze plaque. Working on movie screen and gallery for movies. Moved into the new storage building, which was possible and funded by the foundation. I don't want to butcher that name, so working on the Parasaurolophus display recording, moved into Smithsonian Free Admissions Day. That's something that we always participate in as well. And then, of course, like I mentioned earlier, other things with the community as far as decorating the exhibit hall for Halloween, Christmas trees for the holidays, and Easter egg hunts for the community. Some things in the future, again, as mentioned earlier, is the Craig Corral Exhibit Hall bronze plaque, the movie screens for the galleries, for the gallery for movies, the Oculus application, that's the VR headset, and adding more to the petrified wood exhibit. And that concludes Ms. Monahan's report. If there's anything I could try to answer for you while I'm here, I'd like to do so at this time. If not, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Martinez on our museum report? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve this report.
Make a motion that we approve the report.
Second.
A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Primrose,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Oh, yes.
Mr. Box.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can
Appreciate it.
once.
Next you'll have the staff senate meeting, Tuesday, August 13th, presented by Mr. Garcia. Any questions on that, or, they have a few questions.
I met with Dr. Hungerbuehler and Mr. Garcia yesterday. Joel and I did, and we went over some of this information. We're gonna get some of this information out to them. I'm a little unsure of why some of this information wasn't already known to them. I think we put it out, but we're going to make sure that we get that out. Things like the Student Senate, the scholarship processes, those, and just for y'all's information, those are posted on our website. They're also in our catalog. The scholarship committee is going to hold an in-person meeting here in the next week or two, and we're going to try to get that done early this year instead of in the spring. But then there's some other things we're working on. So,
Any questions on the Senate, the staff Senate meeting? Not, we'll move on to trustees' comments, or is there any trustee have any comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, roll call please.
Mr. Primrose,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Box.
Yes.
Everybody ready? All right, I'll entertain a motion to reconvene from executive session.
I'll move we reconvene from executive session.
Second.
Got a motion, a second, roll call please?
Mr. Primrose,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
and Mr. Box.
Yes.
All right, there was no action in executive session. No correspondence. We all know about September 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah.
And our next board meeting will be October 21st.
And don't forget the rodeo is October
Oh, yeah. that-
10th and 11th.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And I don't have any training. We've already done our HLC training with Dr. Edwards. So. And so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, roll call please.
Mr. Primrose,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
and Mr. Box.
Yes.